Hello and welcome back to another video, quite a special one this time. I'll be bringing you all out. Not live, but out. Anyway, as you saw in the title of this video, and maybe on the thumbnail too, this is a video about the best Pokemon arcade game, at least available internationally. Well, not internationally, within Asia for now. It's called Pokemon Ga-Ole. And that's basically the sound effect for roar. So yeah, the whole game revolves slightly around the sounds Pokemon makes to call out for the other Pokemon to come close. You'll see in the gameplay video. But yeah, I went there 11:30 to try and snag the machine, and because I'm a little shy about filming, but it turns out there was a lot of people, much more than I expected. So I'll be commenting on this in post during editing. As you can see here, this is how the machine kind of looks. And you can see this is the stage select screen. Well, right now there's nothing much. So let's just look and see how it plays. So now you can see the stage, which is randomized by the way. You don't get to select the stage you want per se, but this is purely cosmetic. What matters are the Pokemon in the stage. So when you first start off the game, you get to have one Pokemon of your choosing, of the three at least. So you can see these are usually rather lackluster. So yeah, this is just to start you off. There's a chance you can get a 3-star chip here. Oh, right before I go on, the chips that the Pokemon come from 1-star to 5-star, as you would see in some gacha games. And what you see me doing here is the roar, where the Gaole comes from. So the louder you roar, the higher the chance of getting a very rare Pokemon. So as you can see, this is well, spoiler alert, this is the dry machine. And what do I mean by a dry machine? A dry machine is a machine that will not dispense or even give you the chance to dispense any rare Pokemon. And by rare Pokemon, I mean any 4-star Pokemon and above. So right now, you can see these are 1 to 2-star Pokemon, which is essentially just chef. You don't really want to fight these. These are not really interesting or anything, it's just there to fill up the space. And you can see me mashing the buttons down during the attack. This fills up that spirit thing you saw at the start. And now you can see at the middle bottom of the screen, that essentially powers up your moves. So whenever you see me attack, you can see me mashing the buttons to increase the spirit. That spirit is also what allows you to call Pokemon. So the higher your spirit, like I said just now, the more rare Pokemon appear. At least that's in the Japanese version. So what we get here in Asia is the international version, where all of the draws and the Pokemon you meet are fixed. Whereas in Japan, you get it as if it's RPG, so it's randomly generated. Every season there are featured rare Pokemon, 5-star legendaries and whatnot, that you get a chance to meet as you play the game. But this is not so for our international version. And the reason is because the Japanese version, very interestingly, prints the card, the chip, on the spot. The moment you right, you saw that? If you see that, that's actually a critical throw. A critical throw means you're 100% guaranteed to get a Pokemon, but it's for 1-star, so that's not much of a point. Anyway, now that you've seen what it looks like, you just want to pray that you get it when you fight a legendary. And what was I saying before? Right, the Japanese games. Yeah, they are printed on the spot. Oh, okay, now you can see sometimes there's a chance for you to fight a second time. This allows you to increase your spirit, as you see me doing now. And if it goes above 600%, this is the cap. The amount, the loudness of your call cannot exceed the tier of the rainbow. So 600%, you can see the entire number turns rainbow colored, but there's nothing there, so all you get is a 3-star. Generally, you get a 4-star or 5-star, but like I said, this machine is completely dry, so there's nothing you can get here. Anyway, back to the Japanese machines. Yeah, they do it seasonally, and each stage is guaranteed just that one legendary or two, maybe one 5-star and two 4-stars, something like that. Back when I played it in Japan at least, so you're guaranteed to at least meet that one, and there's a pure random chance. There's no such thing as a dry machine in Japan because they are all printed upon you obtaining that Pokemon. So in Japan, when you get and catch the Pokemon, it actually loads up a little Pokédex screen where you can check out the 3D model of the Pokemon you just caught, and it will be able to print out that Pokemon on the spot, on the chip for you. Meaning, when they load the chips in, they are all actually blank. This is not the case for the international version because I don't think we have the logistics to fix every single machine if it spoils. And it's quite a complex machine, I suppose, but yeah, this is the reason we have dry machines, because all of these are preloaded. So if what's inside the machine does not contain any 4 or 5 stars, no matter how long you play, no matter how much money you spend, you'll get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Next, the Japan machines also feature a membership program. So on the right, you can see there's a little indent. I'm not zooming in there, but you can see there's a little in there to place a membership card. According to my friend, when you spend, okay, so each card is good for like 150 games, and then you get different bonuses like attack up, defense up, support Pokemon that will come in when you need help or anything. But once you reach the end of the card's life, you're guaranteed one Master Ball, meaning you can play all the way to 149, and then on the 150th battle, you go fight a legendary Pokemon, and then once you get it, you're guaranteed to get it. So yeah, you're able to play like that. There's nothing like that here. It's completely by chance, and I'm not sure what are the percentages on obtaining any of these things. So here you can see the end game and the gold, which is useless because you don't have the membership card. Yeah, so this is pretty much how the game works in general. Here you can see a much closer look at the machine. 2 buttons on the right and the left, and a little joystick in the middle that you use for most of the game, all the gameplay at least. You can see on the top left, there's this little transparent panel. That's where you scan your QR code if you have a spot Pokemon. Now you can see this QR code there. That's actually what the Pokemon is. That's what represents the Pokemon. So if you have that code and you're able to print it out in the exact same size, you can actually scan that code in to the machine and you'll register as that Pokemon. I'm not sure whether all the same Pokemon share the same QR code, because in Japan they print it on the spot. So in here they are all printed in a centralized location and shipped out to all the different countries and to all the different branches that manage these machines. Now here you can see that I'm doing a Z move from Sun and Moon. That shows the age of the game, by the way. They're only getting this now because Japan has moved on to a new machine and we are getting the leftovers. Which is unfortunate, but at least it's something. It's way better than the Tretta, which I saw all over Singapore, where I'm from, quite a while ago. But yeah, it's pretty decent. You can see that it's a very imposing machine with a huge 50-inch screen. There's nothing much honestly here because this machine is dry, so no matter how much I play, it's like pointless. All you get is this Primarina, and if you get the Primarina, you might not even, like, what replaces the Primarina might not even be anything good. So yeah, you can see me try again. Oh, you can see as I tilt the joystick, the ball curves in that direction. It's a neat little touch to give you a sense of control. Not too bad. Rather interesting, but you know, that's all from Japan. That's nothing the international version came up with. Yeah. Oh, and in Japan, whatever you caught the Pokemon with, whether it be a Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, or Master Ball, it will show up on the chip. But for the international version, because they're all pre-printed, they just assume everything is a Pokeball. So you can't brag that you caught like a Legendary for Pokeball or whatnot. Everyone's Legendaries are caught with a Pokeball. So you can see a close look of the chip. It's nothing much. Now, this is the second machine, which was on my left. It was actually seemingly dry. It was semi-dry. There were hints of strong Pokemon, but no Legendaries, so no one wanted this machine. So I moved on over because it was at least better than the previous machine. And it had hints it wasn't completely dry. And now, as you can see, I got a 4-star Incineroar on my very first game. So this is definitely not dry. There was something in there, but maybe not a Legendary. We don't really know yet, but a 4-star is better than a 3-star. And there could be other stuff. So yeah, it's pretty decent, I'd say. There are much more to look forward to in this machine, but I wouldn't spoil it, so let's just move on to the battle. Yeah, so now you can see me try to catch the Incineroar. Got an Ultra Ball, which I thought would be good enough, but let's see then. And of course it's not good enough. All we get are its leftovers, some gold, which is useless. Ah, look at that! That's a trade chance. When you see the icon appear, that means there's a trader who will trade you a Pokemon for a 1-star Pokemon. It's basically a PT system if you get a 1-star Pokemon. So there's a chance you can get a 4-star or maybe even a 5-star. But it's very random here. It's not random in that sense, but it's a fixed kind of random. So in Japan, it's actually possible because they print every single card on the spot. So it goes through, it sends a message to a server, it decides what you get, it sends it back, and then the machine prints out the card for you. Whereas here, in a way, your fate is fixed. So you can see I traded a 1-star for a 3-star Hariyama. Not bad. I don't have Hariyama yet, so it's part of the collection. Now we have a second chance, so let's see what we get. Oh, just made it 600. That was close. Now, you can see when you hit 600, the sights show that warning tape. Oh, look at that, a 4-star Blastoise. This is definitely not a dry machine. At the very least, you get 2 4-stars in here. This would, well, now it looks good, but dry machines would never happen on the Japanese machine. And I actually spent a good amount of money on the, well, not that much, I spent like $16, $18 on the dry machine just to try and like see if there are anything, if it's possible for me to catch a new legendary popping up, because maybe it was dry up till then, you know, perhaps. As it dispenses the chips, maybe the legendary will appear. But of course, dry is dry, you can't really get anything out of it. That also I shifted to this machine. Well, let's just continue playing and see what happens. Now, you can see, look at that, Solgaleo. Now we know this is a machine with stuff, good stuff, very good stuff indeed. So when it appears on the feature page like that, usually you get it very easily. You're bound to meet it, but that doesn't mean you're gonna catch it. So, but in the international version, this is very good, and I'm quite excited to fight it because who knows, I might get a one-shot wonder. But in a way, it's half-half. So you are able to save money by acting like an asshole and sniping all of these machines, as you saw some people doing, waiting in the front of the queue, get the machines that have stuff in it and people leave it for. You can see I'm roaring. I'm not even up to like 300%, which is like the tier just before the highest. Most people get it to there. Ah, look at that. On the first battle, I am already fighting Ga-Ole, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this is definitely not a dry machine now. Everyone who's looking at the back, from the back I mean, are now getting ready to play my machine if I ever walk away. I'm not sure about any etiquette, like if I leave a water bottle there, will I be able to secure the machine, or will they just be like, you know, screw it, I want that machine, you walked away, so I'm taking that machine. So I didn't want to chance it. But if you ever have someone else with you, this is the good sign to get them to start exchanging more coins so that you can continue playing on it. Otherwise, some ass might come over and take your machine the moment you move out to change more coins, or even take your legendary. Like let's say if you're down to your last coin, and then because you need to pay another $2 to get the chip. Let's say you spent your last $2 playing the game, and then you don't have the $2 to get the chip. If you walk away and try to change some money to buy the chip, someone could just put in the $2, the chip will be dispensed, you can take it and go away, run away. So it's kinda hard to play alone. This is one thing I really like about the Japanese one though, is that it's completely random, so there is zero chance of you encountering and wasting your money with a dry machine. I cannot emphasize enough how bad this is. If you ever try to play this machine in order to get legendaries, never ever play first. Unless you're there when a fresh batch of chips just got in. Otherwise, if you are just there and you don't know the state of the machine, wait for someone to play first. Or if you want to try, maybe put in $6 for 3 games. Don't catch anything. You're not required to catch anything to proceed to the second battle, if there is one. But you're just there to make sure that there are no legendaries. So you just stand at the back, you wait, and then yeah, you just wait till someone meets the legendary, they run out of coins and they leave the place, or the kid gets dragged away by their mother, or some other uncle or like older guy gives up on that, and then you can just take over the machine and try to catch it. Now I'm praying super hard I catch Ga-Ole because I want to get either Ga-Ole or Lunala, preferably Lunala, but Ga-Ole is not too bad. So let's see, can we catch it? Please! Ah, damn! Damn! Ah, man, you're so close to, but can't always get it. Well, it could have been a one-shot wonder if it wasn't for that. Okay, now you can see suddenly disappeared, but this is actually fake. This is a fake dry. You can see at the bottom there's an Entei, so it's not truly dry. There's still the Incineroar, the Blastoise, Ga-Ole that we met, the Entei that we haven't met. So don't be fooled by this thing. Although it looks the same, the stage select looks the same as the previous machine that was completely dry, due to the history of the machine, as we observed, we know for a fact that these Pokemon are in the machine. So don't be tricked by this. If you see like that, continue playing. Do not be fooled by this. Do not walk away. Anyone who was looking at your machine, the moment you walk away, they're gonna swoop in and take your machine. 100%. I guarantee it. Because that's just how this version works. It's very predatory in a way. I really dislike how they do it, but since this is the way they decided to go, we don't have a choice. See? Look at that. Look at that. The Solgaleo appeared, despite the fact that it showed up nowhere within the stage select, nowhere within the featured Pokemon, which was the Pokemon you could see the silhouettes of. Well, I skipped the battle because it's mostly the same, and we can see whether we can catch it with an Ultra Ball. Please? Damn! Damn! All we caught was the freaking... Of course we're gonna catch the 2-star. Of course we're gonna catch the 2-star, and the 5-star gets away. Even with an Ultra Ball, it's not good enough. So I end up with nothing. And you can see, this is yet another fake dry machine. We know for a fact that there are legendaries and 4-stars in there. So once again, do not be fooled by this. Even if on the first stage you encounter nothing, on the second stage you will encounter something. Anything. Because we know there's so many in there. So as you can see right now, on the first stage there was just a 2-star and a 1-star. But I know that there are good stuff in this machine. So I kept on playing, and once I reached the second battle, look at that. Incineroar, 4-star, which isn't too bad. Not the best, but it's no Solgaleo, but it's something. So this is the way this game works. You just have to find a machine that has good chips in it, and then you just play on it until it dispenses everything, or until you've played your fill. Which is kinda, you know, in a way, it's kinda disgusting. So in Japan, the way you play is just completely random. You play, and there's, you know for a fact, every single time you play, there's a chance you can get a legendary or a 4-star, and they'll be printed on the spot. Whereas in here, you don't know when they're coming up. I don't know exactly how the dispensing works, nor the chances of it dispensing the Pokemon. But at the very least, I think it's much lower than the Japanese one. Well, it could be higher if you get like a machine like this. So let's say from the start of my gaming session, if I had chosen this machine instead, and if it was free, and I played from it from the start, I could have gotten more stuff. But because I spent a good amount of time showcasing the game, so I didn't really mind playing on a dry machine, I basically wasted the money. So if any of you overseas viewers ever come to Singapore, Taiwan, or any other country, many places, I think you can just go search Pokemon Ga-Ole, and you can see all of the little things, all of the places that have these machines. And then if you ever visit those places and try out these games, please do not randomly pick a machine. If there are tons of people at the machine, like the vicinity of the machine, let's say there are 4, 3 of them are super crowded and 1 isn't, there is a reason for that. Do not think that you might get lucky, because those people are likely there for like hours and they know for a fact that that machine is dry. So if you play on that, other than the experience and the excitement of playing on this awesome machine, you're getting nothing. Not a chance, not a peep, not even a single percent or 0.1% of getting a legendary. Because this is how this international version works, unfortunately. Well, here you can see the Z move once again. Now, let's see whether we can catch this Incineroar. I'm hoping to at least go back with 1 4-star at the minimum for all of my efforts. At this point, I'm like kinda sad because I've only started to dig into the gold now. Please? Alright. Got it. Very nice. Finally, you're getting something. So I'm definitely getting the Incineroar here. Not a chance I'll be getting that 2-star. As you can see, this is a 4-star Incineroar, and just like my 4-star Primarina, they are able to use their Z moves. So if I were to use this Incineroar in battle, it will be much stronger than its 3-star counterpart. And you saw at the stage select, there was a Suicune. So that means that this machine now contains a Blastoise, a 4-star Blastoise, and I caught the Incineroar, so that could have been the replacement for the Incineroar. So they now dispense a Suicune as a chance. Now we try to catch it. I've skipped the battle because now that you've seen it so many times, it's mostly the same thing. In total, we know that there's a 4-star Blastoise, there's a Solgaleo, 5-star, and a Suicune, 5-star, and a 4-star Entei that we have yet to meet. So this is definitely not dry. And as you can see, this kid on the left taking over my machine, he's been looking at my machine for the longest time. Just kept looking over. You can hear him clearly speaking to his friends and family or cousins or whatever. That there's Solgaleo and Suicune. In the end, I couldn't catch either of them, unfortunately. But yeah, I was out of coins and I wasn't sure if I wanted to risk my belongings by moving away, and I didn't want to risk playing yet another round. I had like $2 left, which was enough for one game, but then if I actually caught them, I couldn't get them because I needed another $2. So make sure for your last game you have $4 at the minimum, so if you catch the Pokemon, you can straight away put in the $2 and get the chip. Otherwise, if someone is just in the vicinity, yeah, they can just put in the $2, get the chip, run away, and you come back to an empty machine. Even if you brought your belongings and just left the water bottle there, you might have kept your belongings, but yeah, your chip might be gone. So this is something very characteristic of international machines. Rather unfortunately, I don't like how they do things, but this is the way it has to be because they lack the logistics to resolve any printing issue, and you can have people scrambling to get a machine that has been shown to have legendaries. So yeah, it's kind of sad. So rather unfortunately, the run didn't go as well. You can see the kid rushed to get to my position because these lots are fixed, as I would have said in the earlier in the video, and because they're fixed, that means that there's a predetermined how would I say basically what you get in the game is predetermined. So because it's predetermined, there are often times where you're playing just for nothing. Like if you saw earlier when I was playing, wasn't much. You could see all I got was like a Dragonite, but the machine on my left, there was something there, and as you can see, I eventually managed to get an Incineroar, and following that, the rest of the legendaries started to come up. That was because there was still legendaries in there, whereas in that previous machine that I played, it was dry. So no matter how many coins you put in there, you're probably not getting anything until you hit until you hit the legendary thing, or it might just be completely dry. You wouldn't know, but the safest bet would be to wait for someone to go away from the machine, and then you swoop in and get it. So yeah, gonna be closing the video. There's a lot more people than I expected near the start, but now it's a lot quieter. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. All I got was an Incineroar for the amount of money I used, but this is something, alright?